Let's get right into it. Number 7. Earth's magnetic flip countdown. Earth's magnetic field acts as a vast, unseen barrier that shields our planet from dangerous cosmic radiation. However, this protective layer isn't as constant as it may seem. Researchers have found that the magnetic poles occasionally reverse positions. The North Pole becomes south, and the south turns into north. These reversals typically occur every several 100,000 years, and currently, signs show that our magnetic field is gradually weakening. The magnetic North Pole is drifting at an unusually rapid pace, forcing updates to navigation tools more frequently to maintain accuracy. When a reversal happens, it's not a simple flip. The process is turbulent. Rather than a clean switch, the magnetic field can become disordered, with several north and south poles emerging in unexpected places across the globe. This disarray could allow more solar and cosmic radiation to penetrate the atmosphere. The most recent full reversal took place about 780,000 years ago. If such an event occurred today, compasses might mislead travelers, GPS satellites could become unreliable, and migratory species that rely on Earth's magnetism might lose their way. While our planet has endured these magnetic shifts before, we don't yet know how modern technologies would withstand such a disruptive transformation. Number 6. Skyquakes, thunderous secret. Imagine a perfectly normal day. The sky is clear, peaceful, no clouds, no signs of a storm. Then out of nowhere, a thunderous blast shakes the ground. But here's the mystery. There's no visible cause, no lightning, no aircraft, no explosions on the ground. These aren't your average thunder sounds. They're deeper, louder, like a giant cannon going off overhead. And the strange thing is, reports of these booming noises have been recorded all over the globe for hundreds of years. Even Lewis and Clark, during their expedition in the early 1800s, documented hearing such unexplainable sounds in the wilderness. Scientists have tossed around several ideas to explain them. Some suggest they're caused by meteors that burn up high in the atmosphere before we can spot them. Others point to underwater gas eruptions or collapsing subterranean caves that somehow project the sound skyward. Still, none of these explanations fully solve the puzzle. These blasts are often so intense that buildings tremble, windows shudder, and furniture shakes. To those nearby, it can feel like the start of an attack. Different regions even have names for the phenomenon. Around New York's Finger Lakes, they're known as the Seneca guns. In Italy, they're called brontidi. People in Bangladesh refer to them as Barisal guns. What's truly unsettling is how far these sounds can travel, sometimes heard from hundreds of miles away. Despite modern advancements in science and technology, we can predict weather, monitor quakes, and scan the ocean's depths. We're still in the dark about these sky-shaking mystery booms. What's causing the heavens to roar? No one knows for sure. Number 5. Picture this. You're standing outside on a calm, peaceful night. The sky is quiet. Nothing seems out of place. Then, out of nowhere, boom. The darkness lights up with a strange, glowing spectacle. Spheres of light drift silently through the air. Wavy sheets of brightness ripple across the sky like ghost curtains. And just seconds later, the earth begins to tremble. These aren't signs of an alien invasion or the end of days. What you're witnessing is something much more mysterious and real. They're called earthquake lights. For centuries, people have reported seeing these bizarre illuminations just before major quakes strike, and in recent years, cameras have finally managed to catch them in the act. Sometimes they look like floating fireballs, other times like flashes of lightning without a storm. Even more unsettling, these lights don't always appear near the epicenter. They've been spotted hundreds of kilometers away from where the ground eventually rips open. So what's going on? Some scientists think the answer lies deep underground. As tectonic plates grind and pressure builds, certain types of rock might behave like massive natural batteries, releasing bursts of electrical energy that shoot skyward. Ever crushed a piece of quartz and seen it spark a little? Now imagine that, but with mountains worth of pressure behind it. Until we fully understand what causes them, these glowing anomalies remain one of our planet's creepiest unsolved mysteries. So next time you see strange lights flickering in the sky, don't look for UFOs. It might be the Earth itself, warning you that something big is coming. Number 4. The anesthesia enigma. Scientists have been putting people to sleep for surgeries for over a century, yet the exact how behind it? Still a bit of a head-scratcher. We can reliably flip the switch on human consciousness, like turning off a light, but we're still not entirely sure what's happening inside the wiring. It's kind of like using a remote to shut off your TV, but having no clue what's going on behind the screen when it goes black. When anesthesia kicks in, the brain doesn't just power down. Instead, it slips into a strange, altered state like the city's phone system suddenly going haywire. Billions of neurons are still buzzing with activity, but the lines of communication get scrambled. They're active, just not speaking the same language anymore. Researchers have zeroed in on these things called lipid rafts, tiny structures inside brain cell membranes. Under anesthesia, these rafts get disrupted, and it's like crashing a finely tuned party. Suddenly, important proteins that should be staying in their lanes start drifting into unfamiliar territory. That chaos sends a wave of confusion through the nervous system. Signals stop firing properly, and that's how consciousness begins to fade. But here's where it gets even weirder sometimes. People under anesthesia report having vivid, almost dreamlike experiences. Others have brief flickers of awareness. And in rare, chilling cases, some are fully conscious but completely unable to move or speak. Essentially, we're putting people into a controlled, temporary coma. Yet we still don't completely understand what flips the brain into that state, or how it crawls back out. Every time a patient goes under the knife, they're not just undergoing surgery, they're also stepping straight into one of medicine's greatest unsolved mysteries. Number 3. Earth's greatest reset. Roughly 252 million years ago, Earth hit the reset button hard. Around 90% of life in the oceans vanished. On land, about 70% gone. Scientists call it the Great Dying, the most catastrophic extinction event we've ever discovered. And the prime suspect? A mind-blowing series of volcanic eruptions in what's now Siberia. But these weren't your run-of-the-mill volcanoes. We're talking colossal eruptions that could blanket a region larger than Alaska in molten rock. As they spewed out massive amounts of gas, they transformed the atmosphere and poisoned the seas. Temperatures around the globe skyrocketed by nearly 14 degrees Fahrenheit. That might not sound like much, but for ecosystems, it was devastating. The oceans became so acidic that many marine creatures couldn't even build their shells anymore. And unlike some extinctions that happened in one sudden blow, this one came in waves, like nature kept smashing the reset button again and again. Some ecosystems collapsed almost instantly. Others lingered, struggling, before finally going silent. The whole disaster may have stretched out over 200,000 years. Imagine the apocalypse in slow motion. It took millions of years for the planet to bounce back. But when it finally did, the life forms that emerged were survivors. Tough, adaptable, and ready to shape the next chapter of evolution. From their ranks would come the early ancestors of dinosaurs, and eventually, us. Number 2. The Aradana Supervoid's Emptiness. In the vast reaches of the constellation Aradana, scientists stumbled upon something unsettling. A gigantic emptiness, so enormous it stretches across 1.8 billion light-years. To put that in perspective, you could fit around 10,000 Milky Way galaxies inside it and still have room left over. But here's the weird part, it's almost completely empty. It's as if something took a cosmic eraser and scrubbed away a massive piece of the universe. And whatever it is, it's leaving behind more than just darkness. It's creating a cold patch in the cosmic microwave background, the faint glow left over from the Big Bang. That area, colder than it should be, way colder. Some scientists believe this vast void might actually be draining energy from light passing through it, like a cosmic sponge pulling in photons and spitting them out weaker. Light enters full of energy, then limps out the other side. It's like finding a shadow, with no object to cast it. No one knows how it formed, no one knows what it really is. All we know is, it's there. A massive hole in the cosmos, breaking rules, defying logic, just existing, and that's what makes it so terrifying. Number 1. Black hole's crushing heart. At the very heart of every black hole is something so bizarre, it throws the rulebook of physics out the window. Imagine cramming an entire star into a space smaller than the period at the end of this sentence. According to our current equations, matter at that point is squeezed into infinite density. But let's be real. Most scientists agree that infinity is just math's way of waving a white flag. It's not that there's literally infinite stuff. It's that our math just breaks, like it's screaming. Something really weird is going on here. If you tried to keep zooming in on this core, you'd never hit a wall. It's like asking the universe to divide by 0. There's no answer that makes sense. Things get so intense in there that space and time themselves start to unravel. Even Einstein's equations, some of the most reliable in science, simply stop applying. Some researchers suspect there might be an entirely new, exotic form of matter hiding at the center, something we've never seen, something beyond current science. But we can't peek inside to check. And we can't send a probe, because once anything crosses the black hole's boundary, it's gone forever. Still, whatever's lurking in there might be the missing piece that helps us unlock the deepest secrets of the universe. That's it for now, but there's more mind-blowing stuff where that came from. If you're into this kind of cosmic mystery, stick around and hit that subscribe button.